The biting wind whipped through Maple Hollow, each gust carrying snowflakes that danced like restless spirits under the cold glow of the streetlights. January 14, 2024. A seemingly ordinary winter night in a town where everyone knew their neighbor's dog's name. But beneath the pristine blanket of snow, an unease was stirring. Emily Carter's laughter still echoed in the memory of Sarah, the bride-to-be, as she replayed their final hug. 8:42 p.m. Emily, vibrant and full of life, had stepped out into the swirling snow, her red scarf a splash of color against the white. Sarah had watched her go, a pang of affection for her best friend warming her chest. She had no premonition of the chilling silence that would soon engulf their small world. The drive to Emily's cozy cottage on Hemlock Lane should have taken 10 minutes. But Emily never arrived. By morning, the unsettling truth hung in the air like the frost clinging to the window panes. Emily's car, a familiar blue sedan, sat abandoned on Birchwood Road, hazard lights blinking with a frantic urgency. The driver's side door stood open, an invitation into the void. Police Chief Daniel Reeves, a man whose stern face usually reflected the town's calm, looked grim. Inside the car, Emily's purse lay on the passenger seat, her phone dark, her warm winter coat folded neatly in the back. Outside, a single set of footprints began at the driver's side, leading away from the road, towards the ominous embrace of the woods that bordered Birchwood. The snow, still falling in delicate flurries, had already begun to soften their edges, as if trying to erase the mystery before it could be unraveled. The initial hours were a blur of frantic energy. Neighbors huddled in the biting cold, their breath misting as they whispered worried conjectures. Had she slid off the road and sought help? Had her car broken down? But the sight of the footprints, disappearing into the dense trees, painted a more sinister picture. State troopers arrived, their vehicles casting stark beams of light against the snowy landscape. The woods, usually a place of quiet beauty, now felt menacing. K-9 units strained at their leashes, their barks cutting through the muffled silence. The air was thick with unspoken fear. Days bled into nights, each marked by the relentless search and the growing despair. Drones buzzed overhead like mechanical vultures, their thermal cameras scanning the frozen canopy. Volunteers, their faces red and raw from the cold, trudged through knee-deep snow, their calls of Emily, swallowed by the vastness of the woods. Detective Marissa Hale, sharp and perceptive, meticulously pieced together Emily's last known movements. The CCTV footage from the gas station at 9:05 p.m. showed Emily alone, a flicker of weariness in her eyes, but no sign of distress. The driver who passed her on Birchwood Road at 9:17 p.m. remembered the flash of her taillights. The next motorist, just 4 minutes later, saw the blinking hazards, an unsettling beacon in the darkness. The forensics report offered few concrete answers. Scuff marks beside the car hinted at a possible struggle, but without witnesses or further evidence, they remained just that, hints. Then came the claim from old Mr. Henderson, his voice trembling slightly as he recounted seeing two figures walking towards the woods around 9:15 p.m. One had a flash of red, he'd said, his eyes cloudy with age and the weight of the memory, like a bright bird against the snow. The other taller, moving fast. Detective Hale felt a knot tighten in her stomach. The red scarf, Emily's signature accessory. But who was the taller figure? As the investigation deepened, the polished facade of Maple Hollow began to crack, revealing hidden tensions and veiled secrets. The texts on Emily's phone, the persistent messages from that night, led Hale to Aaron Blake. His denials of an affair felt hollow against the digital evidence of late-night calls and clandestine meetings. His wife's tearful confession of suspecting an infidelity added another layer of darkness. Tyler Carter, Emily's brother, became another point of interest. His mounting debts and the heated argument witnessed at the engagement party painted a picture of desperation. Had his financial troubles driven him to confront his successful sister? And then there was Lauren Bishop, the bride-to-be. The argument in the kitchen, witnessed by a caterer, remained a nagging question mark. What had the two friends argued about so vehemently just hours before Emily vanished? Lauren had been evasive, her composure almost unnerving. 2 weeks. An eternity in a small town where time usually moved with the gentle rhythm of the seasons. The discovery of the red scarf, miles from Emily's car, buried as if deliberately concealed, sent a fresh wave of shock through Maple Hollow. The DNA linking it to Lauren Bishop was a stark, undeniable fact. Confronted, Lauren's composure wavered for the first time, replaced by a carefully constructed narrative. The scarf? Oh, Emily had lent it to her weeks ago. She hadn't seen Emily after the party. Straight home to bed. Her fiancé corroborated her alibi, but something in his eyes, a flicker of unease, didn't sit right with Hale. The search of Lauren's home yielded nothing conclusive, but Hale couldn't shake the feeling that she was close. The silver SUV, the same make and model as Lauren's, captured by the traffic camera heading towards the abandoned quarry at 9:34 p.m. that night. Lauren's explanation, a drive to clear her head, felt rehearsed, too convenient. The quarry, with its icy depths and treacherous cliffs, became the focus of a renewed, desperate search. Divers plunged into the frigid water, their hopes dwindling with each passing hour. Weeks turned into months. The snow melted, revealing the stark reality of the fruitless searches. The woods, once menacing, now seemed indifferent, holding their secrets close. Flyers bearing Emily's smiling face, once plastered on every lamppost, now faded and torn, whispered a silent testament to the fading hope. Candlelight vigils became a somber ritual in the town square, the flickering flames casting long, mournful shadows on the faces of Emily's friends and neighbors. Rumors, like insidious weeds, took root and spread. Emily had run away, started a new life. She had been the victim of a random act of violence, a wrong turn at the wrong time. Her brother, burdened by guilt, knew more than he let on. Detective Hale refused to let the case go cold. Emily's file remained on her desk, a constant reminder of the unanswered questions. The image of the silver SUV heading towards the quarry haunted her. Lauren had moved away, leaving behind a void and a town scarred by suspicion. Aaron's marriage had crumbled under the weight of his secrets. Tyler had left Maple Hollow, his departure shrouded in whispered accusations. Each January 14th, the town gathers, their faces etched with a shared sorrow, to release red lanterns into the winter sky. Each flickering light a silent prayer for Emily's return, a defiant refusal to let her memory fade. Detective Miller, now retired but still living in Maple Hollow, often spoke to Hale. "She didn't just vanish, Marissa," he'd say, his voice raspy with age and conviction. "Someone here knows what happened. Someone she trusted." He believed Emily hadn't disappeared into the vast unknown, but into a carefully constructed lie, a web of betrayal spun within the confines of their seemingly idyllic town. Was Miller right? Or does the truth lie buried somewhere else, waiting to be unearthed by a chance discovery, a slip of the tongue, a crack in the wall of silence that has settled over Maple Hollow? The stillness of the town holds its breath, waiting for the ice to break, for the truth about Emily Carter to finally surface.